How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Sick Eric Tech, and today we're going to be going on over the LG G8. So a little over a week ago, I posted that I'm going to be using a 5-year-old smartphone for a week, and no smartwatch, just a regular digital watch. So I did that, and here are my thoughts on my experience of using a 5-year-old smartphone with no smartwatch. So thank you guys for joining me here on Sick Eric Tech. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And we do videos like this here on the channel. So the G8, LG G8, 5 years old already. No updates on this device. LG G8, no updates on this device since, let's go ahead and go into system updates. So the last update was October 1st, 2022. So I've been using this, or I used this for a day, slapped my SIM card in there, and this was my only smartphone that I was using. The only smartphone I carried with me to work for a week, and I did not have a smartwatch. I just had a regular digital watch. Now, I did use this watch on a trip that I took recently when camping. I did use this watch, no smartwatch, just because I didn't have to worry about charging it. I can get it wet, no issues. Went swimming with it and everything. Was a champ. So I like regular watches. So this is the first regular watch that I've worn in quite some time. So I did pair these two together, and the experience was actually pretty normal. I did not find myself missing out on any features, maybe a little bit, but they weren't that serious, guys. Using a 5-year-old smartphone was really not that bad. So the smartphone I was using is the LG G8, as you can see right here, in this nice, beautiful carmine red. Really did love this phone when it came out. Beautiful display. You get a 6.1-inch POLED display, supports HDR10+. It is 1440 by 3120, so already higher resolution than most of your smartphones today. And it is a full 1440 resolution, covered in Corning Gorilla Glass 5, always on display. Beautiful POLED panel, you can't go wrong. You do get a notch up here, which is kind of weird, but that was due to the whole hand gesture thing that LG did with this device, which, to be honest, I never used. I can't remember the last time I even used that. Maybe years ago when I first reviewed this device was the first time, but turn it off, save some battery on it. So this device does have a pretty nice size. It is very small and compact and sleek. Comes in about 5.98 inches tall, 2.83 inches wide, and 0.33 inches thin. As you can see, no camera bump. This is the slipperiest motherfucker that you could get. This thing is so slippery. You put this on the table, it's going to walk off the table just because there's no camera bump. So smooth. You get a rear mounted fingerprint sensor, which back in the day they used to do that. A lot of people miss that, and now you get it in the power button, but I kind of like it in the back just because your finger rests right on there to unlock your device. Now when you're trying to unlock it on the table, of course you're going to have to use your face recognition, and this has a really nice facial recognition system. This uses the time of flight sensors and all of these 3D sensing on the front to give you iPhone like face unlock, which is really cool. This was really cool back in the day. Everything works fine. IP68 dust and water resistant, so no worries about getting this thing wet. And it's MIL STD 810G compliant, military drop resistant, so that's really nice. Of course, it is glass, and glass will break, so keep that in mind, but it's still very nice. It's held up quite well over the time that I've had this device. I have a little bit of scratches on the back, but this is a very sleek, very beautiful device. A lot of people are still using an LG G8. You get a headphone jack right there for your quad DAC. Now I did use this to play some music on here as well, and it sounds freaking amazing. You have DTS-X on here for your audio that you could use, so that's really cool. So LG devices, of course, well known for playing music, and I did utilize that a little bit. Plug this into my car using the auxiliary cable and enjoyed some high quality music that I still have on the SD card on this device, which has SD card expansion right here. So that's really, really cool. A lot of phones don't have that. So my experience on this device, it is running Android 12 and no issues with it other than, it takes a little while to open up some of the apps. As you can see right there, it does take a little while to open up some of the apps just by a couple of seconds. It's really not that bad, not that serious. Now, is it as fast as the Google Pixel 9? No, it is not. But you do get just that little tiny bit of delay and that little tiny bit of lag, especially when you restart this device or something and you want to start getting into it, it will lag on you. But for the most part, it does everything you need. There is no 5G on here. It is running 4G LTE, but then again, those speeds are just fine. I didn't have no issues playing videos when I was out using YouTube. No issues with loading on here when using YouTube out and about. Wi-Fi works great. And yeah, it's still a very usable device when it comes down to the LG G8. And like I said, I did not have it connected to a smartwatch. It was just a regular digital watch, and the only thing maybe I missed was getting notifications on my watch. But you just go old school and just read your notifications on your phone. That's it. A watch is supposed to tell your time and your date, and that's it. Maybe set an alarm, and that's all you need for a regular watch. Now when you step away from it, obviously you won't get any notifications on your watch, so you're gonna have to go back to your smartphone and read your notifications, your calls, and things like that. But I did not really miss it. I still use this watch right now with all of my other smartphones. I don't mind not getting notifications over here. I don't have to worry about charging it. This has a 10-year battery life. Don't have to worry about anything on here, getting it wet, getting in the shower, going swimming with it. Nothing on this watch. So it is pretty durable and pretty, self-efficient over here. So as far as having the two connected, did not miss anything much other than getting notifications time and here and there, but I could live with that. You get UFS 2.1 on the LG G8. The cameras on here, definitely every single time I bust this device out to do a video on it, the cameras never disappoint on this device. You get two cameras on here, the 12 megapixel main sensor, and it does have optical image stabilization. You get a 16 megapixel ultra wide with no autofocus, and these cameras always impress. The front facing camera is going to be an 8 megapixel. You can record up to 4K 60 frames per second, and these cameras, like I said, never disappoint. They take excellent pictures. Video is a little hit and miss, especially in low light, but if you have plenty of light, the video on the LG G8 is still actually really, really good. You have a lot of different options. You have manual camera mode, you have manual video mode on this device. This is an old 5-year-old device, and you still have all the options to control your ISO, your autofocus, and everything that goes along with your manual video. You have manual camera, night view, manual, you have portrait, photo, video, and if you go into more, you got a whole bunch of different panoramic, short story, slow motion, flash, jump cut, cine shot. You get a lot of different options on here with the LG G8, and you have the option to save these to an SD card. Yes, so you get a lot of options, and these cameras on this, guys, is fantastic. But yeah, cameras on here still fantastic. Display, still a really nice display. Granted, it does not get as bright as your devices today do. There is no 2000 nits peak brightness over here on the LG G8, but it's still legible in direct sunlight. It's still a beautiful panel. A lot of people still enjoy LG, and it's a 1440p panel, so it's definitely a lot more sharper and crisper than the ones you get today. Granted, it's only 60 hertz, but still, it's a beautiful panel. So yeah, cameras, display, still fantastic on here. The speeds when opening up apps may be a little slow, and that was probably my only downside, was the speed of this device. You get Bluetooth 5.0 on here, so it is definitely an older Bluetooth right there. but still no connectivity issues. I had no issues connecting my earbuds to this device. And of course, I didn't have a smartwatch, so I had no issues connecting that. Like I said, I didn't use the hand ID or any of the hand gestures on here. I just learned to turn that off to save battery. And going on over to the battery, you only get a 3500 milliamp hour battery. And this is where I did have issues when using this older device, especially since it is 5 years old. Battery life on the LG G8 was never that great, and it's still not that great. It might be even worse than when this device came out. I had to charge this thing a lot during the day when using it, especially taking, pictures and video, trying to test this thing out. Definitely had to charge this once or twice during the day to get a little bit of a boost. Battery life on the G8 was never the greatest, and even with battery degradation, it's still not the best over here. A lot of people still might get by with it, but it's still not the best. You do get fast charging at 21 watts. You have wireless charging at 9 watts. So that's really, really nice. And I think using this device still can be used in 2024 with no issues. If you're your average, person, your average Joe, you're not really a tech enthusiast, you'll be fine with this. You get some nice cameras on here. You get a beautiful display, a beautiful build. This device can be had for under $200 nowadays. It is very affordable. You could get this for cheap used, which is how I got this a while back. And it is a very affordable device. It's beautiful. It's lightweight. You get a headphone jack with a quad DAC, USB-C charging on here. It is a very nice and usable device in 2024. And other than the lag of opening apps, no 5G connection and battery life, it's still doable. And I had no issues. I did not hate using this device. I actually liked it just because of the nostalgia of LG. And I really liked it. I used it without a case, by the way. I did not put a case on here, so I used it just like this. And I did not mind it. It actually gave me some nice throwbacks and nostalgia when using the LG G8. So those are my thoughts of using a 5-year-old smartphone with no smartwatch for a week. And I absolutely loved it. Thank you guys for joining me here today on Sick Eric Tech. And if you have any questions or comments, of course, comment down below your thoughts. If you're still using an LG G8, comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. I'll see you next time. Peace.